Hey, y'all. Hey, welcome back to yet another episode of our Hey, y'all. Hey radio morning show. It is a beautiful December morning on a Tuesday, and we're glad you're here with us. My name is Alicia from Country Mama Musings. And am I the only one here?
And I'm Ann from A&L Homestead. It does help if you push the button just a little bit.
Hello, everyone. I am definitely the same, trying to press that unmute button. And it's Casey over here at Ormsby Farm. And we are so very excited that you've decided to join us on this Tuesday. Monica from Bland's Promised Land Ranch is on assignment, so she is not here today, but will be back with us next week. But how has everyone's week been? Alicia, how has your week been?
It has been an up and down roller coaster here on the farm. Some days are unbelievably seasonably warm, so we've been able to get out and do some things. And then the next day we wake up and it's a winter wonderland here at the farm. But Papa Jim and I, we had a great weekend. We played this game. I put a video up on my YouTube channel. We play this game every once in a while where we flip a coin. And when we flip a coin, we get to the driveway, we flip a coin, and whatever the coin comes up, it determines whether we turn right or left. And we just keep doing that until we just keep doing that until we find some fun place to go. So we ended up in a town south of us, Ames, Iowa. And if you saw the video, I know Casey saw the video. People, you got to run over and see the video to see the size of the monster cinnamon roll that they brought to our table.
Awesome.
We're going to be eating on that, I think, for the rest of the month. It was so big. And then
That did look so delicious.
Oh,
I will tell you, it looked so yummy scrummy.
and I thought it was burnt, but it's not. It was caramelized on top. Yum. And a cream cheese frosting. Not good for my diet, but I walked it all off because we ended up at the Iowa State Capitol and we walked the grounds of the Iowa State Capitol. It was beautiful. It was amazing. Wonderful, wonderful time. Got back to the car and thought, I'm going to see how many steps I did. I forgot to put on my Fitbit.
Oh,
But
gosh.
the important thing is I was there with my best friend and we had a lovely, lovely time together. I've got to share a story, though. I've got to share this. I've got to tell you. Because it was so cold that morning, it was 22 degrees when we left with a wind chill of 12.
Oof.
I put on some like fleece under leggings underneath my denim jeans. This is why we're unscripted on our podcast and on our radio show. I put on these little tights underneath my jeans so my legs wouldn't be cold.
Oh.
And Miss Ann will be able to relate to this, I'm sure, and so will our listeners. As we're walking, those leggings start rolling, like how pantyhose roll and then they
Yes.
down. Those leggings started rolling and they're rolling down. Now, full disclosure, not only do they roll down, but then they grab my undies and my undies are rolling with them. So they've rolled down and I'm not kidding. They're all the way down past my bum and just hanging out at my upper thighs. They can't go any lower because the crotch of my jeans, right?
Well, look, I'm impressed that you could wear tights under blue jeans anyway. Or under your jeans.
Well, here's the thing. I wore my fat pants.
Okay.
And they're getting pretty baggy on me. So as we're walking, I'm having to pull up my fat pants because they're falling down because I've lost some weight. But they've rolled all the way down. And hubby says, look, I'll stand in front of you and just reach down in there and unroll those suckers and pull them back up. So he stands in front of me because there's other tourists, walking around.
That's
so
right.
he stands in front of me with his jacket open, like a flasher.
Yes.
And I've got both hands down those fat pants, grabbing those leggings and my undies and trying to unroll them and shimmy them back up.
Oh, good
Well,
grief.
what we didn't know was where I was standing was there was a circle driveway for the Capitol behind me. And as I'm shimmying with both hands down my pants with this flasher standing in front of me with his jacket open, a van pulls up and there's like 5 or 6 tourists all looking out the window while I've got my hands down my pants shimmying to get my pants back up. And
Oh, my goodness.
I can't get out of it. I'm too invested now. Look, and they're just looking at me like they're thinking only in Iowa. But we finished up a really great walk. I've got to encourage our listeners, if you've not taken a drive to your state capital and toured your state capital grounds and the state capital building, do it. You learn so much.
You
Our
do.
state
You
capital
really
in
do.
Iowa, I've been to a few. The one that I've visited here in Iowa is the most beautiful interior I've ever seen. And we have a dome on top of our Capitol, much like the Capitol in Washington, but it's completely covered in 7 layers of gold leaf.
Oh, how pretty.
Mm.
It is exquisite. And a lot of the times you'll see pictures on social media of this big, beautiful spiral staircase in a library. It's in that building.
Okay.
It is the most beautiful Capitol building. So we got a video out of the exterior. It was on a Sunday. We didn't get to go inside, but we're going to go back and take a tour of the inside and actually put up a video for that. But I really want to encourage our listeners, if you're looking for something to do that doesn't cost money, go visit your state capitol and spend the day with, your spouse, your helpmate, your best friend, whoever, your children, and just spend a day touring the state capitol. It really is worth the while. So that's what we did this weekend.
And
How
you did it for a Vlogmas
interesting.
video, right?
I did. I did a Vlogmas video for it.
Oh, that's so
We had a great
cool.
day.
And speaking of Vlogmas, we have all tried. I have failed getting everything every day, but I am doing my version of
And see,
Vlogmas.
that's the perfect version to do. Is your
Yes.
version.
Break out
So,
of the mold.
but I certainly have enjoyed watching the three of you. That has been a lot of fun.
I'll tell you, it's a struggle. I didn't know how much of a struggle it would be to post every single day
Yeah.
in 25 days. I was thinking, oh, it'll be easy. Oh, yeah, yeah. I have to set a reminder for myself now on my phone. You know, like how you set a reminder to take your pills or a reminder to, like, you know, call somebody on their birthday. I have to,
Right.
like, have a Vlogmas alarm on my phone that says, Casey, have you posted your Vlogmas today?
Oh gosh. Yeah.
Please,
Well,
please
you're
tell
not
me.
alone.
Please tell me that your alarm on your phone is Santa going ho ho ho.
No, it's like the end of days siren. So because that's how I feel if I don't get a Vlogmas out there.
Oh my goodness. Oh
So
my
what
No,
was on what was on your calendars for the weekend? What did you guys do?
This past weekend, what did we do? Today is Tuesday. I woke up thinking it was Monday all day long. I did go to our little local Christmas parade. We have a teeny tiny town with a teeny tiny parade, but and I went with another adult friend that it was her birthday. I didn't have a child with me, and I waved and cheered and clapped at all the little daycares that walked by, and the bands, and the horses, and the Santas, and I had a great time.
Oh, how
Just
fun.
turning
that
into
does
a
sound
kid,
fun.
just going. I'm not sure that I've been to a parade and sat for the whole thing and not had a child with me.
Well, I was just
But
going to say, doing things like this during the holiday season, it brings the child out in us. I think it's
it
a
does.
wonderful thing.
It truly does. And my friend Anne is her name, so there were two Anns. The world needs to look out. Is so hilarious. She's a funny and wonderful friend. And there were some floats that people forgot to put signs up as to who they are because they know who they are and they expect everyone else to know who they are. And she didn't know. So she marches right out in the middle of Broad Street and walks down the street with them, talking about their organization. So this is the only friend I know that had joined the parade like 3 or 4 times with people she had never seen before. Doesn't live in the town, but we had a wonderful time.
Oh,
Oh,
that
that sounds
sounds
fun.
great. And she sounds
I
like somebody that would just be I'd be friends with someone like that.
You would,
I
believe
am
right.
me.
that person. I am
Yes,
that person.
you and Anne, you would have fun together.
Well, I think it's so sweet for the small towns to have these Christmas parades. Sadly enough, the small town where I live does not have one.
Yeah,
But I just think it makes the whole season magical, and it's so wonderful for the kids,
it is.
especially.
It is. Well, they get to see Santa coming down the street.
Right, right, and
And
see it in person.
yes, how about you, Casey? You had a big weekend.
I did. And for those that follow me on social media, I was in the Nutcracker in the small
Woohoo!
town where I live. And it was just so much fun. Like nothing says the holidays like the Nutcracker. Now, I will say, because I am going to be posting the link of the live show on my community page, don't expect like New York City Ballet production, but but it was wonderful. And I said it to my mother when I was speaking to my mother is our first show was for all of the elementary school kids in the town where I am. Well, the town next to where I am. And the magic in their eyes when they saw us walk out onto the stage, it was so heartwarming and it was such an ego booster because it was
Yeah.
you would think that the Beatles or Taylor Swift had walked out on that stage for the roar that us little actors got when we went out on the stage for these elementary school kids. It
Oh,
was
how sweet.
precious. It was precious and it was so much fun. So and that's on a couple of my vlogmases too. So yes, that was my week was Nutcracker the whole time.
Well, we
So
were very proud of you, Casey. We saw some of the pictures and we know you just had a blast.
I
that's
just
right.
had way too much fun. Way too much fun. I felt in the ho 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 spirit.
That's awesome. And so we did not release a podcast yesterday,
We
correct?
didn't. Yeah, we didn't. And it's so sweet that people actually hit up our Instagram, our Around the Hay Bale Instagram. Was like, did I miss the podcast? No, you didn't. This week was an off week, but we will be back next week for our season finale. I truly can't believe that we're on the season finale of season 4 already. It feels like just yesterday we did season 1. I don't know how
Yeah.
you feel about that, Alicia. Is
Time
it's
has flown by. I mean, it just seems like
flown.
yesterday we were planning out our episodes and now we're almost done.
We're almost done and we are coming back for a new season, so look out in the new year for our information on the new seasons. But we did something kind of fun last week, and for most of y'all that are watching it probably are noticing that we're in different locations for our morning show. So we have created a new beginners homesteading guide page that goes along with our group, and that page is where we're going to be streaming our morning shows and doing some free classes. And it's kind of a cool little page just so we're not swamping our Facebook group with a lot of entertainment stuff that we as admins don't allow people to post. So we tried to kind of make it fair for everybody and created our own page. So we hope you join us on that. But
Right.
we did a post last week, a couple times Alicia put it out, about hustle on the homestead. And we wanted you, and now some followed the directions, some did not, but we wanted you to post about your small business or farm and your link to where people could shop local for the holiday season. And we talk about how important it is to shop local. And this was kind of a way to kind of give back to our 67,000 plus
That's right.
followers to try to make a
Yes.
little ching ching in the holiday season. And why is it so important to you to shop local?
Well, it's so important to me because I can see the results. What I'm doing is pouring back into my own community, pouring back into someone that is just like me, that those pennies count. It's not some huge organization or huge business that are faceless people. And these are children that you're feeding and pets
Right.
that you're feeding and farms that you're supporting and or crafts that someone has made and you're loving their time and taking care of them. That's why it's so important to
Right.
me.
And you know,
Ha-
when Miss Ann, when she says community, she doesn't just necessarily mean her geographical community. We're talking about
right.
the homestead community because all of us here, all of the admins of our group and of the page and for here for our podcast and our radio show, we all appreciate and know the struggle sometimes of trying to put things out there that others can relate to. And that's why we did this in the group
That's fine.
for the holiday season because we want to encourage that community. We want to encourage buying from each other through the holiday season. So
Yes.
Right. I think a lot of people think when a YouTube channel gets monetized that we all become mega millionaires overnight. And,
Yeah.
because I think it's funny because I think people really do think that it is how it works, and it's not. First of all, so supporting your favorite YouTube channel by buying one of their T-shirts or by buying a product that they sell, or supporting them by doing that star. That's a way to give back to the community, so that channel or your favorite homesteading groups can continue to make content to put out there. And I think it's just so important to show that support as a YouTuber, as a homesteader, as a human being.
That's right. That's right. And in 90% of the time, when you're supporting someone, they're just recouping what they've put out. It's not like there's
Mhm.
a huge profit.
Right,
They're
right,
just simply doing this. In most cases, there are people that are doing things to help others. And as far as um, whatever crafts or tinctures or food, saying, you can do this too. This is how I do it. And it's just recouping, honestly.
right.
And
And
it's
there's
something
some
that they
wonderful channels too.
oh, there are. And the thing is the things that they put out, like you said, the majority, Miss Ann, the things they put out, those are things that they love to do, love to make, love to share, and they want to share it with you. They make it available. I would much rather have a gift under the tree to open Christmas morning that was made by an artisan, whether they're local or whether it had to be shipped in, than something that was just picked up at a big box store. There's so much more thought in the entire process
Right.
from beginning
That's
to
right.
end. And you're going to treasure that gift so much more than if somebody just went out and bought something at a big box store. So I think it's a wonderful thing that all of our members in that 67,000 strong go back and look at those posts. They're posting every day. Every day there is a group community post for people to put in the links. You have to include a link to
Yes,
your
folks, post your link, please. Because how
yeah.
are we supposed to magically twitch our nose and Facebook finds the your link to go
Right,
to?
and it's for products that you produce as your side hustle to your homestead. Share that so that we can support you by purchasing from those links. Having
Right.
said that, we
Yes.
each picked out from this last what I think they started coming out on Thursday. So for the last
Uh-huh.
4 days, 5 days, we all went back, we found one that spoke to us. I picked mine completely at random, and because I know it's something I'd like to have. So, I mean, that's just
Yay.
you look through, and if something speaks to you because that's something you'd like to purchase for someone or something you'd be interested in purchasing for yourself, click on the link, see what they have to offer, and then share that link with your
That's
family and
right.
friends. Maybe they'll buy you one. But we've all picked out who wants to go first.
Well, you go first, honey. Let's see
I'll
what
go
you
first. I'll
let's see
go
what
first.
you pick.
I went all the way back to day one and I was scrolling and I saw a post by one of our members of our homesteading group. And
Look
it
at there.
spoke to me right away because I love custom cutting boards. And I thought, you know what? Let's just talk about the cutting boards that Chris and Larry, and lo and
Wow.
behold, I mean, they're here in the chat today. I had no idea they'd be in the chat.
She
I
really
did
did.
I did not pick
She
them.
really did it.
It really was organic the way I picked it because I didn't look at the name. I was scrolling. It's like, ooh, cutting boards.
Yeah, she
So it's
just
like, oh, I got to do this one. And then everybody's like, well, yeah, they come in and they listen. It's like, but it's organic. I picked it out organically because I love cutting boards. And I thought, this is a great gift for homesteaders.
yeah.
If
Is it
you have a
yeah.
family member who has recently started homesteading, or you yourself, or let's say you're a husband listening in and you want to pick out something unique for your wife, cutting boards are such a beautiful, wonderful addition to any homestead kitchen. And
Right.
they're never not going to be appreciated. So take a moment, go on over and visit chrisandlarry.com and see what they have to offer in the way. They've got more than cutting boards, but it's the cutting boards that caught my attention. But go
Right.
see what they've got and support this small business Get your orders in early so they're there in time for Christmas,
Yeah.
and then let them know that you came on over from the radio show.
Well, what I think is the coolest thing is that you picked this genuinely. Y'all, we talk in the morning before we begin this, and she genuinely had not looked at the picture. She didn't really look at the name. She was looking
No,
at the products,
I
and we're
was.
going, yeah, Chris and Larry, Chris and Larry Homestead. She goes, oh, well, oh my gosh.
It really was organic in how I picked it. It
It
really
was
truly was.
perfect. So that stands for me. That sets the products out that this is something that you would really, really be interested in.
Right. And that's
Oh,
why it's so important for people who are participating in this in our group that you post the link, because if it just
right.
would have been words, I would have kept scrolling. I saw the link and I saw cutting boards. It's like, oh, got to check this out. Got to do it. Got to do it. So I was just enthralled. My hubby and I just went recently. We took a road trip last week, and he said, "I can get you a
Oh,
cutting
it's
board." I
beautiful.
don't know the people who made that cutting board. I want
Right.
some. I don't want to just buy a cutting board in a store that's been mass produced. I
Well,
want
this
something that
is,
comes from someone's
yeah,
homestead.
yeah, this is really special.
I
It
mean, and
is.
not only is it beautiful work, but um, Chris and Larry are the coolest people in the entire world. So I mean, supporting them is amazing. I just adore. Chris knows I just adore them immensely. I don't even have words to talk about how amazing they are.
Yep.
But their stuff is beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. I'm over here like mentally shopping as I'm clicking on all the links.
Yeah, me
Uh,
too.
do you see that I'm like, okay, hold on. Where I unshare it. Hold on.
If you
See, I'm
can't
getting so
see it, head over to
excited.
YouTube so you can see it.
Yes, that's right.
That this one right here, and I wanted to pull it up because I think it is just so beautiful. Simple but beautiful. Look at that.
Oh, imagine
Absolutely
imagine a really
beautiful.
beautiful Christmas charcuterie
It's
board
just
just
gorgeous, just
displayed on
gorgeous.
that.
Just absolutely gorgeous. So brava to Chris and Larry Homestead.
Oh, I see
Um,
eggnog. I see eggnog. Click
Oh
on
boy.
that
hold
one.
on,
Oh
here I
boy.
go.
Look at
Ding
that. For
ding.
Oh boy.
recipe bamboo wood cutting board. It's the recipes on there.
That's
Oh my,
wonderful.
that is
And
Oh
so
my
cool.
goodness.
and if you're listening to the podcast and are not able to see this, head over to YouTube to Round the Hay Bale channel and you'll be able to see exactly what we're talking about. We do have some pictures up there from the Etsy store.
And it's just, I mean, cool, great stuff. And Chris in the chat, um, put when the date is that is the latest to get it by Christmas, so we can say it here live on the thing too. Is there a date that you're hoping to have people's orders in by a certain time? Um, and we'll post it in the show notes also because that's a big thing I think that we talked about before we started this venture last week. Is we want to make sure that people get it by Christmas if
Sure.
that's what they're ordering for. And if you want to, you need to make sure that you order it ASAP, y'all. I
Yeah.
mean, look, I'm seeing so much where it says free shipping, free shipping, free shipping, free shipping, free shipping. I mean, let's just go ahead and order and get it in time for Christmas so that your loved ones can have a beautiful homemade item from Chris and Larry Homestead. So
There you go.
Chris, type it in the comments and I'll show it up here on the screen.
Well, they just did, so pop that up. They're paying attention. They're actually here this morning,
Priority
and we're
shipping.
so happy that we could pull that. And really, truly, Chris
There we
and Larry,
go.
it
Priority
really was.
shipping chosen a cart is so this Friday. Y'all listening this Friday. Okay. Y'all have a couple more days to get your
And
orders in.
today is Tuesday, so Friday, December 15th. And that's
December.
about right. Yeah.
Yep. I think that's
Mhm.
what a lot of businesses are saying is if you get it in by the 15th, you will get it in ho 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 time.
Well, I
So
know after our show, I'm going back and I'm going to peruse much more in depth because I'm loving what I'm seeing. I'm loving that I found it in our group post organically and it spoke to me because, and I know it's going to speak to others, but this is why it's so important. You include the links so we know where to go and what to do for you guys.
There we
And
go.
and I've posted the link in the chat as well for those that are in YouTube. For those that are on Facebook after the show, I will post all of the links. So no need to worry. Casey got you. Usually this is Monica's job. I'm going to say that it jokingly because Monica's amazing and
She
she's
is.
able to like magically appear links out of the universe.
She is.
And I'm on the struggle bus finding them. So
I can't even
bear
figure
with
out
me.
I can't even figure out how to comment. I'm reading everyone's comments that are commenting, all of our listeners. I don't even know how to comment back, but good morning, everybody. Just know I'm here. I don't even know what day it is. You guys are all lucky I'm just dressed and up.
There you go. Have clothes on.
Now, Ms. Andell, did you want to go next and talk about your choice for the hustle on the homestead?
Absolutely. Well, over here at the Andale Homestead, land of plenty, we're all about things of as all of our community are, as far as staying healthy and staying healthy in the flu season or staying healthy in the cold season and things like that. Well, this popped out because I have not made my own elderberry syrup before. And this is something that I am so interested in from Lively Acres. Lively Acres commented and left their Facebook link or information. Sierra Moore from Lively Acres. They have elderberry syrup kits. So because it only lasts a certain period of time, there is an expiration once you make it. To be able to have these kits ready to go looked awesome. And what they're saying is their syrup is sweet, it's spiced with a little bit of lemon, a little bit of rose hips. Rose hips are so good for your body. And then you can sweeten it with whatever you want to, as far as honey or sugar or many other kind of teas. But yeah, Lively Acres is where I thought it would be
I
fun.
think this is so cool because as I'm like reading and going through all of these different ones, it is so important to put out there about the retaining the nutrients from freeze dried foods. Because
Yes.
I know a lot of people talk about it on YouTube that sadly enough, we here on the podcast do not have a freeze dryer. We would love to be sent one.
And
Uh,
we're open,
we are,
to
we are.
sponsored by Harvest Right Freeze Dried.
uh, but to keep 97% of the nutrients and have something that is homemade from a farm and supporting them like they are supporting your health by getting
Yes.
these elderberry kits, you can put them on the shelf. And I don't want to misspeak, but Alicia, you know more than I do. What's the shelf life usually for freeze dried stuff?
Well, if you go to their site and you look at the packaging, they've got them packaged beautifully. And I mean, anything that's been freeze dried like that, I mean, you're probably looking at several years.
I would say the
Things
freeze
vary.
dried is like 25 years,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I mean, if all the nutrients are in there, I mean, the pictures are beautiful.
The pictures are beautiful.
And
They
I mean,
really
what
are.
a great thing to have on your counter in the pantry there. If you're not feeling well and you want to make up a little bit of elderberry tea with some of that syrup, there's all kinds of things you can do with it. And what was mentioned is 90% of the nutrients are still there. It's a wonderful staple to have. And like I said, like we're talking about now, it'll last you for years. Now, once you open it, then you've compromised the
Right.
seal. But
Yes.
um, and again, not speaking out of turn because we don't know exactly how they've packaged it.
Correct.
Have those packages, have they had the oxygen removed? That will play into effect as well. So hopefully if they listen in, they can let us know, or you can go to their page and there may be some follow up there about what their shelf life is. It's all in how it's packaged.
Yeah.
But
There-
freeze dried food is so good.
There's not a lot on their Facebook page, but I'm pretty sure that if you comment underneath their kits on there, then they will get back in touch with you
Right.
because
And we did tag him in. We tagged him in a post, or I tagged them in a post,
good.
and hopefully they'll swing into the chat. But they looked to me now. Again, I don't want to misspeak, but it looks like they were sealed properly. I'm hoping maybe there are, because it says at the very bottom. I'm gonna see if I can zoom this in, picture
They're
it a little
sealed
bit.
properly. I just don't know if
Mhm.
they've had the hair removed.
Okay, I don't think because right here it says stay in a cool, dry place up to a year.
Okay. So yeah, especially if you
Beautiful
open.
packaging.
It is beautiful. There's something that's so beautiful about just a monochromatic look like that, and then they've got
That's
their
right.
label on it. So I would imagine that's a full year after you've opened it. Once you introduce the
Right.
oxygen, but again, looking at those packages, it doesn't look like they have any type of an oxygen absorber or that they've been, had the oxygen removed. So it's going to shorten but here's the deal. You're going to enjoy it so much. I'm sure it's not going to last you a year anyways.
Right,
So
right.
Perfect. That's perfect.
get a couple bags, put them in the pantry, utilize them. It's good for your health.
That's right.
Elderberries have so many wonderful qualities for your health. So just do
Yes.
that.
Yep.
And sometimes we'll do another story about my mother's attempt to make some elderberry syrup. We
Okay, that
She
sounds.
forgot about it. We ended up with elderberry wine.
Oh goodness. Oh goodness. Well, and Casey, did you particularly find someone that your poster great? Oh, yes. I am. That is my choice. Absolutely. So Casey, you picked someone that I think sounds so interesting.
I did. And let me tell you, when I found this comment, because I was scrolling through the past 4 days trying to look to something what spoke to me, and this person's last name spoke to me pretty quickly, and I'm trying to find it really fast under the newest one, so that I can share it and everyone will see why it spoke to me. But
Right.
her name is Jen Ormsby. And I said, er?
Imagine. Yeah.
There's another one of us. Now listen, I am my last name is not Ormsby. I get asked that a lot. I am a guest. My grandmother's maiden name was Ormsby, and that's where we thought of the name of Ormsby Farms. But this Jen Ormsby has a Short Creek Dairy, and she has an Etsy page, and they do goat milk products. And I'm trying. There we go. Here we go, Casey. Now you're rocking. You can talk and do stuff at the same time. And she has some beautiful products. When I tell you beard oil is the thing,
It
brother
is.
brother Chris has a beard that is his baby, and
All right.
he takes a lot of pride and care in it. And I was scrolling, and besides the name, her pictures of the soap and the products are beautiful. The way
Oh
she
my
has it laid
gosh, they're
out.
adorable.
And have y'all used goat milk soap or body butter before?
Oh yeah.
Look at that goat milk body butter packaging.
I'm telling you, I'm trying to. There we go. Trying to pop it up here. I used goat milk body butter once, and it was the most amazing thing for your skin. And the packaging is so adorable. It looks like one of those kids juice packs, but it's not
Mhm.
juice, y'all. It is actual lotion body butter.
Do
So,
not let your children eat that.
dude,
No,
yeah,
it
would you?
reminds me of a Go-Gurt.
Yeah,
Yes,
right.
yes.
And she has tons of scents. I don't know if you can see it if it's showing on the screen.
But I do want to tell people she has customers right now that have these things in their carts. So if you want to get some before the holidays,
I'm telling you,
you
there's a
need to
lot of
move
them.
now because they're in their carts. People are going to be buying them. You don't want to be caught short. You want to make sure you get in on this before
And
she
see,
sells
you got
out.
this watermelon
That's right.
sugar goat milk that is only 3 left. There's the strawberry dream, only 2 left. Um, so I'll tell you, I could buy soaps and lotions every day of my life because
Oh,
one, I love being clean, but two, I love homemade soap. There's just something different
There
about
is.
homemade soaps than soaps that you buy in the store. If you
and
don't
Casey,
believe me, go to the link that I'm about to post and try it for yourself.
and Casey, you make soap as well, right?
I did, we used to sell our soaps. Now we just make it for us, but
Same.
uh,
Okay.
it is we do a coconut oil soap, and
Hmm.
we don't have goats, and I love goat milk product soap and lotions,
Mm.
and
They're so
it's just,
silky.
it's silky and it makes you feel yummy, and I love goat milk products. At first, when I first thought of buying goat milk soap, and this was probably when I first started homesteading, I was like, goat milk. Oh, because I'm not a fan of goat cheese. I've talked about that on the podcast many times. I'm not a fan of goat cheese. So I'm thinking, why would I want to smear goat cheese all over my body and clean with it? And it's completely different, y'all. It is completely different. And her stuff is beautiful. I'm looking now. There's only one left of the raspberry vanilla. So Jen Ormsby, and I'm going to tag her in it. I don't know, y'all. I may even be related to this, and I don't even know. Uh, I
Related
didn't
to
even know.
this?
Related to Jen Ormsby, yeah.
I
Related
think you
to
may.
I could be. So I will tag her in it, and hopefully they will jump in the comments and say when their final day to order to get it in Christmas is. Um, but yeah, that was my choice. It's Short Creek
And
Dairy. Yeah?
for those of you who maybe you've never purchased a homemade soap before, I can attest to it. Casey can attest to it. There's a lot that goes into making a
Oh
batch of
my
soap.
word! Oh
It's
my
a
word! It's
lot
a
of
lot.
work. It's a lot of love
It
to get the
is.
swirl designs, to get the top of your loaf looking just right, to make sure that you don't have any type of a volcanic eruption as you're cooking it or as you're trying to get it to saponify. There's a lot of work that goes into it. So when you get a good batch of soap out there and you put it out for people to enjoy, there's a lot of love behind it. So some people will look at the price of a homemade bar of soap and bulk, and they'll think,
Right.
"Ugh, I can just go to the store and I can go to the 99-cent store and buy a whole six pack for a buck 25." But you know what? It's so full of chemicals that you cannot pronounce. When
Yes.
you look at some of these homemade soaps, it's all pure ingredients. Now,
It is.
if
It
if they
is.
use the scientific names for things, you might not be able to really fully understand them. But you have a lot less components going in. It's a pure soap. And it
That's
feels
right.
so good, and it's good for your hair, it's good for your skin. Try it. I guarantee you, if you get the chance to try it, you won't go back to the normal soaps because there's so many beautiful scents, the way it
Well,
feels on your skin, so many positives. I'll get
and
off
the
my soapbox.
older, unfortunately, I can testify that the older we get, the more sensitive our skin becomes. And
Mhm.
so before, when I used to be able to use the 59-cent a bar kind of soap, now I need something else. And my husband needs something else because of new and various chemicals that are being put in there that didn't used to be. I need the old fashioned homemade, good old goat soap, lotion, natural ingredients that are in
Right.
there.
Right. Now, my brother-in-law, he used to have a skin condition and he had to be very careful what he could use. And I was making my own soaps and shampoo bars. And he was saying, I can't use any of that. It's like, just try it.
Hmm.
There's only 3 or 4 ingredients. Look at the soap you're using now. And you know what? He reported back, he says, this is the first time in a long time that I'm using this shampoo bar and my head feels good and my hair feels good and my skin feels good. And
Yeah.
whatever you're putting in there, it works for my skin. So you got to get away from all of the other chemicals and really start looking at some of these small homestead businesses. They put stuff out there. Here's the thing. They use it themselves. So
Right.
if they use it themselves and they trust it on their own skin and for their family, try it for your family because the
That's
stuff
right.
the stuff that you're buying at the store, do you think the top CEOs use that product?
Oh,
No.
No.
absolutely not.
No. They're not rubbing a 59-cent bar soap on their body.
No,
No.
They're
ma'am.
getting the good stuff.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. So I think we had some sort of a comment call out
Is
kind
it
of
time? Is it
thing.
time?
I
We
think so.
did. I think it's almost time.
It always makes me laugh.
And we're
Okay,
waiting.
almost time.
We're waiting for
It's time for
do-do-do-do.
Subscriber comment call out. Pew pew pew.
There it is. There it is. Which one are we starting with, Casey? We're
We
waiting
are
for
gonna
him to pull this
it's
up.
I know, y'all. Y'all know I'm on the struggle bus this morning of doing my job and Monica's job.
Friends,
We
it's
miss you,
Tuesday.
Monica.
Half of us thought it was Monday. So I mean, just the
Yes,
fact that we're even here is good.
that's right. That's exactly right.
Bam! There we
There
go.
we go. This is
Yeah,
one that I picked, and it kind of ties into a lot of things that's going on in my mind about our group this week. But this is from Darwin Ad, and he has done what you've got two camps on this thought. You've got the camp of people that say, I really want to do that, but they're too afraid to take the step
right.
and step out in faith and do what this young man has done. And then you have Camp B, where they're just like, forget it. I'm doing it. Throw caution to the wind. We're just going to pack up and go. And Darwin belongs to Camp B because he says he decided to bite the bullet. He sold his house, left the city with nothing but his truck and a travel trailer. He brought along his staff sergeant, Darwin Bangle Kitty, which I love that name because I love names that really describe an animal. And he's headed out into the great unknown and he's going to look for a place to start homesteading. And he was asking the group, give me some ideas. Where do you think I should go? One of the best comments I saw in there is, you don't find the homestead finds you.
Right.
So I thought that was a really great comment, and he's gotten some support there of people who are going to start giving him some ideas on where to go, what to look for. If Darwin is listening, because I'm sure we'll probably tag him in this. If Darwin is listening, Darwin, your admins of that group have put together a playlist of videos. If you look up into the files or announcements, you're going to find a playlist for Homesteading 101. All three of
Right.
us are here with you this morning. We have contributed to those videos. It's going to help you get started, where to look, what to do, grants, your
Right.
family on the homestead. All kinds of great things have been put together for you. So watch that playlist. And then we really wish you great success in just throwing caution to the wind and jumping out there. I think it's
That's amazing.
really, really great.
Oh, you never know if you don't try.
That's right.
Right? Isn't that the truth? Like I commend him for basically dropping everything and deciding to do this because life is short. And if you want to do it, friends, do it.
There
Jump
you
in
go.
both feet and do it.
I don't regret doing it.
I don't either at all.
No, well, we just sort of manipulated and turned our neighborhood, suburban kind of home into a homestead. I mean, we didn't physically move, but we just started working what we already had, and I certainly don't regret that.
And Miss Ann, that is a wonderful, wonderful point because we have a lot of people that listen to the podcast and the radio show, and they're in the homesteading group. And we don't pigeonhole what our opinions are on homesteading. You don't have to have 10 acres. You don't have to
Right.
have 5 acres. We tell everybody in our podcast and in the group, it doesn't matter if you're on a piece of land. It doesn't matter if you're suburban. It doesn't matter if you're urban. It doesn't matter if you're in an apartment and you've only got a tiny little balcony or just a kitchen window or just even a kitchen countertop. There
Right.
are things you can do that have homesteading aspects that you can start applying to your life.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that's what this is all about.
To
And
be
I
more.
love,
Yes.
yes, to just become a little bit. Now we've talked about this before in the podcast. It's not so much about being self-sufficient, but we like to include the self-sufficiency with community sufficiency. And that's why we promote knowing what's in your community, supporting what's in your community, gleaning the knowledge from what's in your community. And again, not just your geographical community, but the community of homesteading itself. So we really wish Darwin great success. We're glad
Yes.
that he's in the group. He can ask questions. We know that with the 67,000 plus, people are going to be giving him some good advice. If you want to be snarky and not give good advice, scroll on by. But the reason that I say this ties into some things that we've had going on in our group lately is Darwin encompasses the great migration. He is exactly what's happening right now. People are saying, I'm done with the city. I'm going to do this or I'm going to try that. And I'm going to try homesteading. And they go out and they try these new things. We have to be
That's right.
supportive of each other And, we had a post in our group this last week where somebody shared something that was important to them.
Right.
It doesn't necessarily apply to everybody that homesteads. And boy, did we get some really nasty remarks.
Oh, no.
Some people that said, well, maybe this person doesn't even need to be in this group. Wrong.
Mm.
You can't handle people coming into the group and posting things that may be applicable to them or may be applicable to somebody else, and they may have a different opinion. If you can't handle it, maybe
Maybe
you need to
you
find
need to
another
find
group that maybe
yeah,
is a little more aligned with your beliefs.
find your happy place.
Find your happy place, but don't rain on somebody else's parade. Because Darwin is a perfect example. Darwin is leaving where he knows and he's branching out to a new life. And there's going to be things that he needs to learn along the way, just like all of us have had things we've had to learn along the way. And if we have people leaving us snarky remarks, it's going to take the joy out of our journey and we're not going to learn. And several people on this one post were saying, well, this person obviously doesn't know about this. And this person, I'm telling you, it ruined my day when people
Mm.
started getting snarky. Maybe they didn't know these things, but if you give positive, constructive reinforcement comments and objectives on what's happening, they can learn.
That's
Right.
right. That's exactly right.
It's
And
so
none
true.
of us know everything.
Quote,
No.
thank you, Miss Ann. Thank you for saying that. Because we don't. And we say it all the time on our podcast, too. We may have a lot of knowledge in one area. That does not mean we know everything.
That's right.
And we just got to be mindful with our comments, y'all. Let's
We
play nice.
do.
Can we braid each other's hair nicely in the group? That's all I ask, is that we braid each other's hair nicely, um,
I
and
tell you
play
what,
nice.
I love my chickens. Casey loves his chickens. Miss Ann loves her chickens. But if
Yes.
we would have started asking about chicken care and people started coming at us with snarky remarks about maybe you don't need to be on a homestead, maybe you don't need to be having chickens, maybe you need to go back into town, I would have given up because there's only so many times people can throw negativity at you. But when people are positively saying, this is what you need to do for your chickens and you can do it and I'm here if you have any questions. That's
That's
where we all learn from each
Right.
other. And there are some snarkies that in that group that need to learn that or go find a different homesteading group. Not being mean, just saying maybe this
Just
isn't
saying. Snap,
just it's
snap.
not your cup of tea. That's okay. You don't have to stay. Go find another group that is your cup of tea. But
Well,
there's
let's just
no
say,
bullying.
speaking of not somebody's cup of tea, I think we have another comment call out.
Ooh, perfect
Um,
timing.
I know, right? You see how I segued right into that?
Perfect.
It's time for
Do-do-do-do.
Subscriber comment call out. Pew pew pew. All right. So this was another one from you, Alicia, for Katie Boyum. Oh, but y'all know I can't say names right.
Katie Boyum.
And so smart. It's talking about putting to avoid putting fat down the drain and blocking the sewage pipes, which let me tell you, our pipes here at Ormsby Farm are sucky. Just add some rolled oats to the cold fat and in a pan and absorb. Then I feed it to the birds. They love it. It's a win-win. I have never tried this. Alicia, friend, have you tried this before? What is your thoughts on this? This
Well,
looks interesting. Yeah.
I will tell you, I grew up in a household where my mama would not have wasted the bacon grease on the birds. Don't take me wrong. My mom saved her bacon grease and she applied it in many other things throughout the home.
Right.
But I saw this and then I started seeing some comments. They weren't snarky, but they were educational. And so some of the comments had me questioning, and I did look it up. Now, here's the thing: if you're going to save your bacon fat, you need to know that if you're buying bacon, and I did look this up, the bacon will have certain additives to it that if you just buy at the regular store, or maybe even in your butcher's case. And those additives, when they are in the grease, after you've cooked the bacon, it's not healthy for the birds. It may be detrimental to the birds'
Yeah.
health. However, if you get your bacon from a local source, if you know somebody who has raised their own pigs, they take it to the meat locker, they get that processed. It's not going to have all of those additives.
Right.
So that's a little safer. If you want to do something like this for the birds, you can also go to your butcher counter, especially if you live in a community where you do have a lot of people that like to take care of the wild birds. They will take a lot of the fat from their processing and they make their own suet blocks that you can then do for the birds. Now, I don't know about other types of fat or grease. This one was kind of really looking like it was pertaining to the bacon, but
Bacon or sausage?
bacon or sausage. Um,
Pork
I
fat.
think there's gonna be 2 schools of thought. I did look it up. It did say it's really not entirely recommended. But then again, if you're gonna do something with it, don't pour it down the drain. You'll be sorry about that. There are other ways you can
Right.
dispose of it. But, this really does open up the conversation that you can save that bacon grease, just like what was just recommended. And like my mama used to do, use it in your cooking. It's gonna be okay for us. We have the digestive system that can handle what they're putting in it, so to speak, and, save it. My mom always used to use her bacon grease to make pancakes.
Well, let me just say that and you said it at the very beginning when you were talking about going more local for your pork, because the additives are not added in there. Um, it kind of ties right into what we were talking about in the hustle on the homestead and shopping local. And this is a great time during the winter because a lot of the vendors that are farmers markets in your local farmers market, I'm one of them. Farmers market season is over, but the farms still have to make money. Supporting them over the winter by buying pork from them, buying beef from them, and saving that fat is probably a good way to do this recipe that we're promoting.
Right.
I don't know if it's going to show up because it shows up on my side, her name, but our very dear friend Brianna Lawrence is in the chat every single week, and we exclusively buy our pork and beef from her. I'm going to put the comment up. I don't know if you can see it and her name. Um, but it's Long Pine Cattle Ranch. And I will leave that down there. If you're in the Georgia area, it's the best of the best, y'all. I can't hype it up enough. It is the best of the best. And we still together do a farmer's market over the winter so that people locally can get their breads and their desserts and their beefs and their veggies over the winter, and support local. That way, you can make this wonderful recipe with the bacon grease and the rolled oats.
And then you're feeding those wild birds, the songbirds that need
Right.
that extra nutrients over the winter. But like I said, you can get some suet. You can put orange peels, you cut your oranges in half and eat the orange out of the center. And then you can take those. I love doing this for the Orioles and such. You take those orange halves, put some grape jelly in it, and pop it out there in the garden. And the birds, they eat that. That sugar content helps them, and the Orioles particularly love it. And then you can put your bird seed in with it. There are all kinds of things you can do. The main point of this post was don't put your grease down your sink because you're going to clog up your pipes. Be responsible with it, but also know what you're putting out there for your wildlife.
Right.
Make sure you're not accidentally doing them more harm than good. But if you want to feed them, you want to support them, you want to help them get through winter, then make sure you look at what's really good for them. And yes, if you have the availability to find someone who's raising their own products for consumption, support them first if you can. Now, I know I've heard some people say, I can't afford to buy a whole pig or a whole side of beef. Go in with a neighbor, go in with a
Right.
neighbor, split the cost. I've got several friends who do that. They live in suburban areas, but they have found someone on the outskirts and they'll go in halves on a cow or halves on a side, and they split it up when it's processed, and that way their freezers are full. They know where their product has come from and they've supported
Mhm.
local. There's so many positives to it.
And you know what? Also, to look into for different areas is most farmers markets around the states offer an EBT program. A good portion. I won't say all of them, but a good portion that I've looked into. That is a way for you to one financially, if you are on such program, support local farmers by going and purchasing their stuff. But also, some of the farms have a meat share program, meaning that you may not pay the bulk money right up, but you pay monthly, and get a nice little box of stuff. There are ways to buy and stock up your freezer for a good price. And let me just say, friend, because me and you always talk about the price. Every time I go grocery shopping, I'm like, "Ooh, girl, if Alicia'd be here, we would just be just two sheets to the wind." Most of the time, right now, with our how our economy is, homegrown meat is nearly the same price as what you're going to get for the trash in the stores. And I say that because I know for us at Long Pine Cattle Ranch, who I'm pushing so much here in Georgia, her pricing or their pricing is, if not the exact same of what you buy in the grocery store for the big box stores, um, name brand meat. That is, one, has preservatives. Two, did you know, friend, that sometimes they put coloring in the meat to make it look fresh longer? I
Oh,
just
yeah.
I just totally learned that when I started buying fresh homegrown meat, and I won't just say beef, but meat. I'm like, wait, this color looks a little bit different than what you get in the grocery store,
Exactly.
because beef should be, especially ground one. I don't want to go into it because we'll get all those wonderful comments that we get after our shows, anyways. But I will just say, it tastes better. It's better for you. You're helping local farms and small businesses feed their kids, put them through school. So why not? Get into the spirit, y'all. Get into the spirit. Off my soapbox now.
We've been on a lot of soapboxes today,
I'm
haven't
tell bless the soapboxes for having my big butt stand on top of it. But we have had a lot of soapboxes lately.
I think I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just we get to the end of the year with all of our duties as admin on some of our social pages that everybody's just kind of gotten a little cranky, and in turn it's made us a little cranky, so we got to jump up on our
Right.
soapboxes, try to reel it back in. But I mean, it really was a good point earlier that was shared about, in so many of these homesteading groups, people are so cruel to the new people. We have to hold each other's hands and get through this and learn from each other. So there it is right there. The biggest frustration with ag groups is not just homesteading pages. The gatekeeping of new people or people learning skills drives me nuts. We can't grow as a homesteading community if we keep bashing each other.
Right. How is someone
And
going to learn? How is someone going to learn if
exactly.
they don't ask questions? And we were always taught there's never a stupid question, just stupid people.
There you go.
Well, it's really stupid answer,
Answers
but
that But,
again,
for
soapbox.
the 67,000 plus, I am so thankful to those who take the time to think about your answers and your comments and support each other and help each other grow and solve these problems. Be cheerleaders for each other. It is a wonderful group, 67,000 strong. Now we've got the page where we're going to be putting more information out there for all of you. So make sure you check that out as well. We've got the
Absolutely.
podcast where we have people who have just knowledge in different areas join us every week, and we glean what we can glean from them and we share that with you. And then we come here on our radio show every week, and we just have a really nice relaxing time when we're not on our soapboxes, where we can promote each other and share what we've learned. And I really think if you take advantage of what we've got out there for you, you're going to learn. And if it's something you already know, share it with somebody that doesn't know yet
And you
and
can
help
learn.
them learn.
Well, yeah, you can add something can be added to your learning. You're never too old or too knowledgeable to learn something. Okay. And like with bread, I believe I am a bread aficionado making, but that does not mean I know everything on that topic. There could be one thing that somebody tells me that I'm like, oh, I may want to try that, and it may help my bread making or my preserving of it or whatever it is. So keep your mind open, keep your comments respectful, learn, help, assist, and join us back here next week.
Be the village. Be the village.
Right.
And like Chris and Larry Homestead just said, they learn every day. I used to work at a school. Never pass up an opportunity to learn. That's what we told our kids every single day. You've got to don't pass up that opportunity. And if you
So
can
true.
teach someone, teach them with love and kindness, share your knowledge. Like two doves and bees just said, preach. We've got to be there for each other, especially in these times as we get going. So, that brings us to the end of our radio show today. And we want to thank everybody for joining us. All of those who are commenting, I'm reading your comments. I cannot seem to leave any comments, but I'm watching, I'm reading, I'm there with you. And we want to thank you so much for joining us today.
Yes.
We will have a new podcast come on Monday. Come back and join us here on Tuesday. Head on over to everybody's YouTube pages and watch their Vlogmas entries. So that's myself at Country Mama Musings, Monica over at Bland's Promised Land Ranch, Miss Andale over at her Andale's Homestead, and Casey over at Ormsby Farms. See what we've got to share with you as we go through our daily lives. It's not Instagram prettiness; it's real stuff. So,
Ain't that the truth?
It is. It is. We're real people. So thank you so much for joining us. I pray that each of you have a wonderful, wonderful week. Bless somebody, even if it's just with a smile. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Have a blessed week, and we will see you next time here on Hey Y'all Hey.
With gardening season at an end, Kelzyme certified organic products are still what your soil needs.
From overwintering fruit trees to preparing your soil for spring, Kelzyme calcium-based fertilizer gives the essential minerals they need to thrive.
Applying Kelzyme to agricultural soils and water has been proven to increase plant and crop yields while making vegetables and grains healthier and more nutritious.
In addition, Kelzyme can help restore the nutrient balance in animals when they are fed plants grown using Kelzyme in both soil and water.
To check out all of Kelzyme's organic products, visit kelzyme.com and use the promo code HEYBALE for 10% off your purchase.
Monica, did you know it's now even easier to listen to Round the Hay Bale podcast?
What? Really? How easy?
That's right. All you have to do is say, Alexa, play Round the Hay Bale podcast.
Playing Round the Hay Bale podcast on Apple Music.
Oh, we really fancy now.
Tune in to Round the Hay Bale every Monday at 9 a.m. Central.